Okay, everybody, this is going to be a short video, or maybe not so short, about an issue I've had with boat and RV, particularly the one in Ridgeland, South Carolina. They have several other stores, but this particular one is the Ridgeland, South Carolina store. I bought a 2011 Wildwood X-Lite 28 VHXL last year and actually had an inspection done. They said everything was working as it should, working properly. I went into the dealership, looked at the camper, and everything was working properly. I had one issue with them, was something I asked about. The floor was a little springy in several spots, and I was told by the salesman, actually the closer or whatever he was, his title wasn't salesman, but I was told that that was absolutely normal for this particular floor type in these campers because they're made to be very light. The floors are slightly flexible. I had no reason not to believe the guy. So I noticed over the past several months, almost a year, that every time we went somewhere in the camper, the floor seemed softer and softer. So I decided, you know what, it may be an issue, but we'll find out. My wife wanted a new floor type put down instead of linoleum or vinyl, so we were going to put the floor tiles down, and I started ripping up the floor tiles in the bathroom and found this. I don't know if you can tell, it's more gray now than it was. It was black. I've given it time to dry out. You see where I've taken the sink area out because I'm expecting to have to redo this floor completely. See over this way, all the way back, that's where the tub was, and in the corner there, of course, that's where the tub was, but it was also, there was a cutout for the pipes, of course. And then under there, you can see where the wood has actually been pulled up some. That was me that pulled it up, but it was brittle. Well, not really brittle, but more soft, because it was completely deteriorated. You can actually, if you can see, I don't know if you can see my fingers actually going down into the wood, but it shouldn't. You'll have to excuse the noise from the camera when I zoom in. It clicks when I zoom in. You can see the floor there, completely black. Black up inside there, all the way into the living quarters. You see it's black. Now let me go inside and show you a few other things that I noticed. You can see there, completely black. Now on the other end, not so bad. You can tell once it gets over by the door, and even the bedroom, I pulled some of the carpet up, it looks perfectly fine. But you have under the couch, black, where there was a little compartment that covered up all that electrical and water, black. Everywhere the frame is, black. And you can probably see, well maybe not, I can see and tell that there are no places of water damage coming from the top anywhere inside my camper. The only place is a small area right here that developed about a month or two ago, and I fixed that as soon as I noticed it. That was actually coming from the skylight. However, my problem is that this entire area, and I know it's hard to see if the light will turn on, give you some, it's kind of tough to see. Turn the camera light on. Down inside there, it is the same way. You have black spots all over. And up that way, that is the storage compartment from the outside. You can see it's black. I've actually sprayed on top of it. I did spray some vinegar so that it would kill any mold that was there. front of the refrigerator, which means it's under the walls as well. The funny thing is, they told me there was absolutely no issues, and there were no leaks from the roof, but I've also spoken with several folks who've dealt with RVs for quite a while, and the general consensus is there is no way there should be any problems with the floor that bad if the walls were solid as they should be. And these walls are. The walls are not rotted. In fact, everywhere there is a stud, you can push on it and it is very solid. Until you get toward the bottom where the floor obviously is not there anymore for it to be anchored. Now, all of these RV technicians and individuals with a lot of experience dealing with this kind of thing tell me that there is no way for the floor to be that bad without one of two things happening. There was either a very serious leak from the roof, which would have caused the walls to be rotted, which is not the case, or there would be a leak in the plumbing, which would have been found had the dealership done a proper inspection as they claim to. So either one of two things are going on here. There's someone pumped water into my camper, or, as I suspect, the dealer did not actually do a proper inspection. And I have a feeling that's probably it, because as a matter of fact, when I went to pick it up, when I picked up my camper, did the walkthrough, I asked the dealer, or not the dealer, but the RV tech, what the three buttons, the galley, I knew it had a black, gray, and galley tank on the water tank gauge. Also it had, of course, the battery and the potable tank. But I asked him what the galley was, and he said, oh, don't worry about that one because this camper has just the two tanks. But I'm looking right here and you can see there is not only is there a black tank, which is further to the back, the opening for it, and it is straight in front of us, and then that way goes to a gray tank, and that way goes to a galley tank. So if I can't trust the fact that they would know what that is, I definitely can't trust the fact that they actually did a proper inspection, which is very obvious they didn't. There's nowhere on my camper where the stud should be that the camper is weak. So structurally, other than the floor, I don't find any problems. But here's the kicker, they want me to bring it to them, a 3-hour trip, for them to have a technician inspect it and see if it was something that was caused by something they overlooked, which I know what the answer is going to be to that. They're not going to own up to it. But they want me to take a 3-hour trip to pull my camper to them, for them to have a technician who is very incompetent, obviously, because they don't even know what 3 tanks on a camper are, in addition to the potable tank, obviously. But if they don't know what that is, then it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to think that they would give me a proper conclusion. Now, understanding it is a used camper, and I did sign a paper that said as is, so I'm going to keep trying to see if they will do what they should do, what the right thing is, and fix this floor. And knowing that they are a dealership, which is apparently, they're starting to appear to be very similar to Camping World, because they deny everything, and they're even now denying the fact that there should be any there was any way for them to be able to notice this leak when I found it later, but I'm not an RV technician. So just beware, be very aware of boat and RV. And there's going to be more videos to come as soon as I find out something from them, if they're willing to help or if they're not. Thank you.